Have you ever witnessed something so profoundly beautiful, so utterly comfortable in its own skin, that it stops you in your tracks? I want you to picture, just for a moment, the Black Panther. See her as she moves through the deep emerald jungle, a living shadow of grace and power. She is not just an animal, she is a symbol, a teacher. She embodies a kind of majesty that doesn't need a crown or a throne to be recognized. It is a power that flows from deep within, a quiet confidence that announces itself without a single sound. This is the energy we are going to explore together today, the energy of true, authentic selfhood. The Black Panther teaches us that real power isn't loud. It does not need to roar to be felt. Instead, it is a steady, humming presence, a certainty in every step. When she walks, the ground seems to know her. When she rests, the world seems to hold its breath around her. Her majesty is born from a complete and total acceptance of who she is. She is not trying to be the lion, nor is she pretending to be the eagle. She is fully, magnificently herself. This lesson is one of the most important we can ever learn, that our greatest strength lies in embracing the unique essence of our own being. Her dark, velvety coat absorbs the light, yet her presence illuminates everything around her. This is a beautiful metaphor for how true power works. It doesn't seek the spotlight, but it naturally draws the eye. It doesn't demand attention, but it earns respect through its very existence. Think about the people in your own life who carry this kind of energy. They are the ones who make you feel calmer, stronger, and more centered just by being near them. They don't have to perform or prove anything. They simply are. And in their being, they give everyone else permission to be themselves, too. So, let us begin this journey by holding the image of the Black Panther in our hearts. Let's allow her spirit to guide us as we look within ourselves. We are not just talking about an animal in the wild. We are talking about the wild, untamed and beautiful spirit that lives inside each and every one of us. It is the part of you that knows your worth, that walks with grace, and that possesses a quiet strength. It's the part of you that is ready to be seen, not for what you do, but for who you truly are. This is the journey to unleashing your own inner majesty. One of the most powerful qualities of the Black Panther is her profound independence. She is the master of her own world, the navigator of her own path. She does not look to the pack for validation, nor does she wait for permission to pursue what she needs. Her spirit is beautifully and completely unchained. This independence is not born from loneliness or isolation. It is born from a deep and abiding self-trust. She trusts her instincts, she trusts her strength, she trusts her ability to provide for herself and to navigate the challenges of her environment on her own terms. It is a powerful lesson in self-reliance and inner certainty. This spirit of independence is something we can all cultivate within ourselves. How often do we look outside for answers that are already waiting within us? We seek approval from others, we measure our success by external standards, and we hesitate to take a step until someone else tells us it's okay. The Black Panther reminds us that our internal compass is the most reliable guide we will ever have. To be truly independent means to honor your own inner voice above the noise of the world. It's about building a foundation of self-trust so strong that you become your own sanctuary, your own source of validation. This independence fosters a deep sense of self-empowerment. When you know you can rely on yourself, a quiet confidence begins to bloom. The Black Panther is not arrogant, she is simply sure. She knows her capabilities and her limits. She moves with an economy of energy because she understands what is worth her effort and what is not. This is self-empowerment in its purest form, knowing your own power and using it wisely. It is not about controlling others or the world around you. It is about having complete and total sovereignty over yourself, your choices and your energy. Think about what it would feel like to move through your day with this kind of unchained spirit. Imagine making decisions based on your own deep knowing rather than on fear or the expectations of others. This is not a selfish way to live, it is a sustainable one. When you are deeply rooted in your own independence and self-worth, you have so much more to offer the world. You are no longer draining your energy seeking validation, so you can pour that energy into your purpose, your passions, and the people you love. The Black Panther's solitude is not empty. It is full of power. The Black Panther is a creature of constant, fluid movement. She glides through the trees and shadows with an elegance that is breathtaking. Yet within all that motion, there is a profound stillness. It is the stillness of deep awareness. Her senses are alive, taking in every rustle of a leaf, every distant sound, every shift in the air. She is fully present in her body and in her environment. This is not a scattered, anxious awareness. It is a calm, focused and all-encompassing presence. She is never truly caught off guard because she is always connected to the here and now. She is a master of mindfulness in its most natural form. This unwavering awareness is a powerful tool. It allows her to anticipate opportunities and to sense danger long before it arrives. She doesn't waste energy reacting to every little thing. Instead, her deep presence allows her to discern what truly requires her attention. She knows when to act and when to remain still, when to pursue and when to let go. This is a wisdom that comes from being fully tuned in to the rhythm of life around her. She is not fighting against the current. She is moving with it, using her awareness to navigate it with grace and precision. This teaches us the importance of being present in our own lives. How often do we move through our days on autopilot? Our bodies are in one place, but our minds are somewhere else entirely. Worrying about the future, replaying the past, or lost in a sea of digital distractions. We miss the subtle cues our environment is giving us. We miss the unspoken needs of the people we love. We miss the quiet whispers of our own intuition. The Black Panther calls us back to the present moment. She invites us to quiet the noise in our heads and to truly listen to our surroundings, to others, and most importantly, to ourselves. Cultivating this kind of awareness is a practice. It starts with simple things. Feel your feet on the ground as you walk. Truly taste the food you're eating. When someone is speaking to you, give them your full undivided attention. By practicing this stillness in motion, we begin to develop a deeper connection to our own lives. We become more intuitive, more discerning, and more effective in our actions. We learn to stop wasting our precious energy on needless worries and distractions, and instead, we invest it where it truly matters. Just like the panther, we learn to move through the world with a calm, centered, and powerful presence. One of the most profound lessons the Black Panther teaches us is the critical difference between strength and force. These two energies may seem similar on the surface, but they come from entirely different places and create entirely different results. The Black Panther is the embodiment of true strength. Her power is natural, harmonious, and seems to flow from an endless well within her. It is the strength of a river which carves canyons over centuries, not through aggression, but through persistent, steady flow. It is a power that is integrated, balanced, and in alignment with her true nature. It is never wasted. Force, on the other hand, is what we use when we feel we lack true strength. Force is aggressive, controlling, and draining. It is the energy of pushing, pulling, and demanding. It's like trying to bash down a door instead of finding the key. Force creates resistance. When you use force on others, they push back. When you use it on yourself, you create inner conflict and burnout. Force is loud, often born of fear and insecurity. It needs to prove itself constantly. Think of someone who shouts to be heard or who uses intimidation to get their way. This is not strength. This is a desperate attempt to mimic it. The Black Panther's strength is inspiring. Other creatures in the jungle respect her, not because they fear her, but because they recognize her inherent power and grace. She moves with a confidence that doesn't need to be validated by dominating others. True strength is like the sun. It radiates warmth and light, helping everything around it to grow. Force is like a hammer. It can be effective for a single task, but it breaks things in the process. True strength builds up while force tears down. It creates harmony while force creates discord. It is sustainable while force is utterly exhausting. When we act from a place of true strength, our actions feel effortless and aligned. We feel centered, calm, and clear. We are working with the flow of life, not against it. When we are using force, everything feels like a struggle. We feel tense, anxious, and constantly depleted. We are trying to bend the world to our will, and the world is always pushing back. Recognizing this difference in our own lives is the first step toward living a more empowered and peaceful existence. We must learn to let go of the need to force outcomes and instead cultivate the deep, quiet strength that the panther so perfectly represents. It's one thing to understand the difference between strength and force in theory, but it's another thing entirely to recognize it in our own lives. We must be willing, really, to look into the mirror of our own soul and ask ourselves some honest questions. When have I used force instead of strength? Think about a time you tried to control a situation or another person. Perhaps it was in a relationship where you tried to change someone to fit your idea of who they should be. Or maybe it was at work, where you pushed your agenda through without listening to others, driven by a fear of not being seen or heard. That feeling you get when you're using force is unmistakable once you learn to recognize it. There's a tightness in your chest, a clenching in your jaw, a sense of strain. It feels like you are swimming against a powerful current. Your energy drains away rapidly because you are fighting reality instead of working with it. You might find yourself arguing, manipulating, or becoming passive-aggressive to get what you want. These are all signs that you have disconnected from your authentic inner strength and are relying on the brittle tool of force. It's a signal that fear, not confidence, is in the driver's seat. In contrast, think about a time when you acted from a place of true strength. Maybe you set a firm but kind boundary, speaking your truth without needing to attack or defend. Or perhaps you trusted your intuition and walked away from something that wasn't right for you, even when others didn't understand. In those moments, you likely felt a sense of calm, clarity, and deep rightness. Your actions felt fluid and natural, even if they were difficult. There was no internal struggle. That feeling of alignment, of peace in the midst of action, is the hallmark of true strength. It energizes you rather than depletes you. The Black Panther never wastes her energy on forcing things. If a hunt is not going her way, she doesn't exhaust herself in a futile chase. She conserves her energy, regroups, and waits for a better opportunity. She trusts that her strength, patience, and awareness will bring her what she needs. We can learn from this powerful example. The next time you feel that strain, that tightness, that need to push, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I acting from a place of strength or a place of force? Am I being a panther or am I being a bulldozer? That single question can change everything. Once we learn to recognize the difference between strength and force, our next step is to consciously choose strength. This means, learning to harness our power with integrity. Integrity is the practice of being whole, of having your actions in alignment with your values and your true self. For the Black Panther, her integrity is absolute. Her power, her movements, her very existence are all a perfect expression of her essential nature. She is not trying to be anything other than what she is, and so her power flows through her with pure, unconflicted integrity. This is the source of her grace and effectiveness. Harnessing your power with integrity means using your gifts for good, not just for personal gain. The Panther's strength serves a purpose within her ecosystem. It maintains balance. In the same way, our personal power is not just for us. We are all part of a larger human ecosystem. When we use our talents, our voice, and our influence with integrity, we contribute to the well-being of the whole. This could mean using your leadership skills to create a supportive work environment, using your voice to speak up for those who can't, or simply using your compassionate heart to be a good friend. Acting with integrity also means knowing when to conserve your energy. The Black Panther is a master of this. She does not engage in every possible conflict. She does not chase every potential meal. She chooses her battles and her pursuits with incredible wisdom. She knows that her energy is a precious resource. We too must learn this discernment. Not every argument needs to be won. Not every opinion needs to be corrected. Not every opportunity needs to be chased. Part of using your power with integrity is knowing when to be still, when to say no, and when to walk away in order to preserve your energy for what truly matters to you. This path requires courage. It is often easier to use force, to take shortcuts, or to act out of alignment with our values to get a quick result. But that path ultimately leads to emptiness and exhaustion. The path of integrity, the Panther's path, builds a deep and lasting sense of self-respect and inner peace. It creates a life that not only looks good on the outside, but feels good on the inside. It is about building your own inner throne of authenticity, a place from which you can act in the world with power, purpose, and a clear conscience. True leadership, the kind that creates lasting positive change, does not come from control. It comes from inspiration. The Black Panther does not rule the jungle by commanding the other animals. She doesn't hold meetings or issue edicts. She leads by being a powerful example of what it means to live with grace, strength, and integrity. Her very presence inspires a sense of respect and awe. She shows what is possible. By living in full alignment with her own nature, she silently gives everything around her permission to do the same. This is, honestly, the most powerful form of influence there is. We can all be leaders in this way, no matter our title or position in life. You have the power to inspire others simply by being the most authentic, courageous, and compassionate version of yourself. When you choose strength over force, when you act with integrity, when you move through the world with a quiet confidence, people notice. Your example becomes a beacon of light for others who are struggling to find their own way. You don't need to preach or lecture. Your life becomes the lesson. Your peace becomes the invitation. Think about the people who have inspired you the most. Were they the ones who tried to control you, or were they the ones who, by their own example, showed you a better way to be? The greatest teachers and mentors help us see the potential within ourselves. They don't give us the answers. They help us find our own. This is how the Panther's energy works. It doesn't tell us what to do. It awakens the Panther within us. It reminds us of the strength, grace, and wisdom we already possess. Your job is not to fix or control anyone else. It is to tend to the fire of your own spirit so brightly that others can find warmth and light in your presence. So let go of the burden of trying to change the world through force. Release the need to have everyone see things your way. Instead, focus on your own journey. Focus on embodying the qualities you wish to see more of in the world: kindness, courage, authenticity, and peace. Be the example. Live your truth so fully and beautifully that your life becomes a work of art that inspires everyone who sees it. This is how you create a ripple effect of positive change. This is how you leave a legacy of light, not by controlling the world, but by illuminating it with the brilliance of your own authentic self. We have walked with the Panther. We have learned from her ways, and now it is time to bring the lesson home into the very center of our being. The conclusion of this journey is a simple but profound truth. True majesty comes from within. It is not something you acquire, it is something you remember. It is not a destination you arrive at, it is a home you return to. The Black Panther's power, her grace, her entire magnificent presence is simply an outward expression of her inner reality. She is majestic because she is unapologetically herself. Her throne is her own body, her crown is her own confidence. Embracing your inner majesty means finally letting go of the belief that you are not enough. It means releasing the need to compare yourself to others. Your path is not their path. Your gifts are not their gifts. The world does not need another copy. It needs the unique, original masterpiece that is you. Your quirks, your sensitivities, your passions, your strange and wonderful history, all of it combines to create the person you are. To be majestic is to embrace all of it, the light and the shadow, and to know that it is all part of your perfect, powerful whole. This inner majesty is the source of all true power. When you are seated on this inner throne, you no longer need to seek validation from the outside world. You become your own source of love, approval, and security. From this centered place, you can engage with the world with an open heart. You can give freely without fear of depletion because you are connected to an infinite inner wellspring. You can use your strength for the good of all, not just for personal gain, because you understand that we are all connected. Your well-being is tied to my well-being, and ours is tied to the well-being of the world. So I invite you today to begin the practice of embracing your own inner majesty. Close your eyes and connect with that quiet, powerful, graceful part of yourself, the inner panther that has been waiting patiently for you to notice it. Acknowledge its strength, honor its wisdom, promise to listen to its voice. This is not an act of ego, it is an act of profound self-love and service. Because when you step into your true self, you give the greatest gift you could ever give to the world, the gift of your own magnificent, authentic and fully realized light. As our time together comes to a close, let the spirit of the Black Panther settle into your heart as a permanent guide. Her lessons are not meant to be admired from a distance, they are a call to action, an invitation to a new way of living. This is your call to greatness. Not the greatness of fame or fortune, but the greatness of a life lived with authentic power and purpose. It is the greatness that comes from knowing who you are and living that truth every single day. It is the quiet, steady, and unshakable greatness of a spirit that is finally free. I want you to take a moment and reflect on one area of your life where you can begin to apply these lessons today. Where can you choose strength over force? Is it in a difficult conversation you need to have? Is it in letting go of the need to control an outcome at work? Perhaps it is in how you talk to yourself, choosing words of encouragement over criticism. Where can you be more like the panther, moving with grace and awareness instead of frantic, anxious energy? Pick one small, manageable step. The journey to majesty is built one intentional step at a time. Remember that this power you are harnessing is for the collective good. Your strength, your light, your unique gifts are needed in the world now more than ever. When you live from your authentic center, you automatically uplift those around you. Your peace becomes contagious. Your courage inspires courage in others. Your integrity builds a foundation of trust that strengthens your community. You are a vital part of the whole. And when you shine your brightest, you help illuminate the path for everyone. Do not underestimate the power of your own transformation to heal the world. So go forward from this day with the image of the panther in your mind. Walk with her grace, act with her discerning strength, see the world with her clear and present awareness. Let her remind you that you are a powerful, magnificent being, fully equipped for the journey ahead. Your true throne is waiting. It is the seat of your own soul. Claim it, own it. And from that place of inner majesty, go out and be the incredible force for good you were always meant to be. This is your truth, this is your power, this is your time.